In John Wick Chapter 4, John Wick and Winston seem to be buddies, signaling a significant shift from how their relationship ended in the previous film. The debut trailer for John Wick 4 teased a ton of intriguing information about what viewers may expect to see when Keanu Reeves rejoins the John Wick franchise in 2023. Stay tuned as we talk all about John and Winston joining forces in the trailer, and much more. First up, why do John and Winston work together in John Wick 4? The decision to have Winston and John work together in John Wick 4 is unexpected, but it most likely reflects the greater threat that both of them must contend with. Both of their lives seem to be altered by the arrival of Marquis. A new day is rising according to the Marquis, and it will bring new concepts, new rules, and new management. Under this scenario, it looks like the individual is speaking to Winston, suggesting that his control over the Continental may once more be in jeopardy. Winston, John, and Bowery King would be able to work together in opposition to a shared foe, instead of Bowery King entering the scene to fix the problems John has caused before. In John Wick 4, Keanu Reeves' hitman might realize that Winston was previously in an impossible circumstance, which could be another factor in why Winston and John have become friends once more. Winston had to betray John in order to rejoin the High Table and continue to assist John in going ahead. Although John did not particularly enjoy being shot or falling from a building, it did allow him another chance to gather his forces and take on the High Table. John Wick 4 will follow him and Winston as they try to finally overthrow the system if he realizes this. Next up, the John Wick 4 trailer supports a major Winston theory. The conclusion of John Wick 3 positioned Winston as a villain and the object of John Wick's fury in the follow-up, but the trailer for John Wick 4 demonstrates that this is no longer the case. In the video, Winston and John Wick are frequently seen together and seem to be on good terms again. In the trailer, Winston describes how taking on the Marquis de Gramont of the High Table would allow John Wick to put his life as a hitman behind him. Winston even travels to Paris with John to meet the important High Table member. These details may indicate that the trailer supports a popular John Wick 4 Winston idea, that he didn't intend to kill John in the conclusion of John Wick 3. Winston is clearly aware that if Wick is still alive and fighting on his side, any conflict he wants to start with the High Table has a stronger chance of succeeding in his favor. Bowery King might be able to persuade John to put the past behind him, even though it might still take some convincing. In any case, Winston's assertion that John Wick's family may be associated with the High Table in John Wick Chapter 4 suggests how mutually advantageous their new partnership will be. What an interesting theory. Let's see what actually happens. Moving on, let's talk about the theory about Winston not actually wanting to kill John in more detail. Firstly, for Winston's High Table war, John Wick needed to remain alive. Winston and John have a long history of friendship, and viewers of the previous John Wick films can see that he cares about John enough to break the law, a very risky move given how brutal the Guild of Assassins is. Winston may be aiding John because he wants to use his skills to fight back against the High Table, which is also why John may be doing it. The management of the Continental makes a hazardous move by continuing to assist the guy who is sought for murder all over the world. But given how frequently John has overcome impossible challenges, the former hitman might prove to be a dependable asset in the future. Winston's personal contempt for the High Table, considering that the council wanted to remove him from his post despite his 40 years of loyalty, may also be a factor in the decision to keep John alive. The request for him to resign expresses that he is disposable in the eyes of the council leaders, increasing the likelihood of Winston's dissension. This would have undoubtedly dealt Winston a blow to his pride. Additionally, Winston makes a statement in the John Wick 3 epilogue that suggests his alliances go beyond the Continental, and that, if necessary, he would be more than happy to go to war with the High Table. Lastly, how Winston's ruse could be predicted from John's staged doctor shooting moment, a sequence in John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, which occurs just seconds before John Wick is excommunicated, may have hinted at the Winston plot twist. He has one of his wounds bandaged and is given medicines by a doctor, allowing him to continue fighting the High Table agents despite his wounds. The doctor instructs John to shoot him to make it appear as if he was overwhelmed by Wick and compelled to aid him before getting hurt while attempting to obstruct Wick's escape, knowing that he would be killed for doing so. This could have been a chance to suggest to viewers that Winston might be planning a similar ruse, shooting John non-lethally to give the impression that the two of them are at odds. It would be shrewd screenwriting because the doctor scene still advances the plot, despite being quickly overshadowed by the 40 minutes of violent action. The real reasons behind Winston's return in John Wick Chapter 4 are likely to remain a mystery. All these are very well thought of plausible theories. Now for the longest John Wick movie yet. First off, John Wick 4 is the longest one of the series. The duration of the original John Wick film was 1 hour and 41 minutes, whereas John Wick Chapter 2 was longer at 2 hours and 2 minutes. The future part will be somewhere north of that. that. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum from 2019 was longer still at 2 hours and 11 minutes. The world of the franchise has substantially expanded since the franchise's following additions, although the first John Wick had a small budget and a constrained plot. In order to further explore the series' broad world of assassins, the more ambitious John Wick sequels have taken the plot outside of New York City, which served as its main setting in the first movie. In a recent interview with Collider, Chad Stahelski explains the length of John Wick Chapter 4 and expresses his belief that the film will be equally exciting, as it always has been. Stahelski claims that despite having seen the film close to 100 times, he has never once felt that it dragged on. He's confident that the length is totally justified. Next, why do the movies keep getting longer? With each new film, the challenges that Reeves' hero faces have increased in difficulty, along with our understanding of the global network of assassins. In John Wick Chapter 2, the conclusion states that Wick is excommunicado, therefore making him a target for all other assassins. The third movie is lengthier than John Wick Chapter 2, so that it can more thoroughly explore the effects of Wick's actions and introduce even more individuals who will be crucial to the plot's development. It's hardly unexpected that John Wick Chapter 4 will be the longest in the franchise thus far, given that Wick was betrayed in Chapter 3 and is preparing for retaliation. The length of John Wick Chapter 4 is unknown, but perhaps the newly announced fifth installment won't make it too lengthy, although the majority of critics appear to concur that each John Wick picture has been superior to the one before it. The suspenseful and action-packed nature of the movies suggests that preventing the runtime from growing too lengthy may help to prevent audience weariness from the never-ending combat scenes. In any case, John Wick Chapter 4 is shaping up to be the most ambitious picture in the series so far, and Stahelski is obviously confident in the larger narrative the movie's presenting. Lastly, new cast members. There will be a lot of franchise newcomers in the movie. That includes Donnie Yen, who is renowned. The Rogue One actor will portray John Wick's longtime friend. They've had many comparable opponents throughout their lengthy existence together. It appears that Yen could be yet another dangerous assassin. Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in the It movie, will also be a part of the Killer series as the Marquis, a rival of the Baba Yaga. He will frequently appear in scenes with Clancy Brown, another recent Wickverse addition who will play the Harbinger. Recently, Mr. Krabs' voice actor disclosed to Collider that the two frequently appear in scenes together and that his character is responsible for disclosing additional information regarding the High Table's power. British-Japanese recording artist Rina Sawayama is also part of the cast. This will be her film debut. Also joining the hidden assassin game is Shamier Anderson, best known for his part in Winona Earp. We bet we'll love the film despite its length, and we're so excited to see the new characters. We can't wait to watch it. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think the theories about Winston can be true? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.